Yeah.
Welcome to our order. The hand that grips the life that is Stephanie.
Leave me alone, will ya? This is the good part. Good. Finally.
Hello, dear. How are you today? Did you hear what happened at the barber shop? Someone broke into Pastorelli's salon and took his antique barber's pole. The next morning, Pastorelli touched some live wires that the thief left lying around and was electrocuted. Well, that darn foreigner got what he deserved, if you ask me, coming into a nice little town like Harvest and stealing business. Heavens, if a bowl and scissors were good enough for your father, I don't see why decent working folk need a fancy wop styling their hair. That's how it goes. First you get a sissy trim, then bang, you're a communist. I hear those silly firemen broke out the axes and hacked each other to death. Things never were the same between them after the firehouse robbery. Oh well, maybe now we'll get some real men for the fire department. Though the way things are going, I doubt you'll be around to see it.
What do you mean?
Can't you feel it? The way the stalks whisper in the autumn wind? It's almost harvest time, Steve, when the chaff will be cast aside before the feast. Congratulations, hero. You found Karen after all.
You don't seem proud, Mother. I wonder why.
I warned you not to waste time looking for her.
Am I running out of time?
The blood drive is coming soon.
What does that have to do with anything?
If you haven't joined the lodge by then, you'll find out. Still, I'm glad you found the poor baby. She says Mr. Potsdam was responsible for what happened to her. What a silly little girl. Shame on you! Imagine accusing your future father-in-law of a thing like that. Is that how a range rider would behave? I don't think so.
Why would she lie?
Okay, Weisenheimer. Even if he is a child molester, a kidnapper, and an attempted murderer, that's no reflection on what kind of father-in-law he'll be. I just can't wait for the wedding. Can you? Isn't it exciting, Steve? 5 days and 1,200 cookies later, the bake sale is already here. Where does the time fly?
Those 1,200 cookies. How many are you taking to the sale?
Oh, about 20. The rest were stale. But the effort wasn't wasted. It's for a good cause. Will you be at the school tonight? That's nice, dear. It's good to be open to new experiences. Gosh, hooties, what should we do? Leave them in the streets?
Of course we should bury them. But why do so many out-of-towners drop dead in harvest?
I have wondered about that, and I think it has something to do with the air.
But there's nothing wrong with the air, it's perfectly clean.
That's what I mean. Big city folk, they get so used to smog that clean air is a shock to their systems. Gets them every time.
Don't you think it's odd, having a bake sale to pay for burying out-of-towners?
Gosh, hooties, what should we?
Of course we should bury them. But
I have wondered about.
But there's nothing wrong with the air.
That's what I mean. Big city. Don't forget to put the papers out for Jimmy. You know how he gets.
There now, see how easy it is? Things are so much better between us when you remember the paper in the morning. And let's keep them that way. See you later, alligator.
Think about taking some of that siding off my hands, son. I'll cut you a nice price on it. I was the one what found Pastorelli this morning after he stepped in the water with the live wires hanging out. His body was so burnt his arms and legs was blackened, fused together, and the sheep was well done too. Problem is, both was burnt so bad, and the flesh all crisp and distorted, limbs melded. You couldn't tell them apart. And well, I didn't want to take a chance on eating Italian. No sir, I didn't. I tell you, the only thing worse than a fire station full of sissies is a fire station full of peeved sissies. They're all accusing each other of stealing some silk underwear or something. Boy, whoever said fighting fire with fire'd be happy in harvest. 'Cause we got a fire station full of flamers. Nice to see you again, Steve.
I can't talk now, son. I'm busy with this game. Dang it if the whole town ain't going to hell. Poor old Johnson, defecating a work of art like that. Well, that's a sure sign that civilization is coming to an end. I guess you heard that dang idiot Pastorelli went out and got himself electrocuted. Somebody stole the barber's pole. The alarm system triggered the sprinkler. There was water on the floor this morning, and the darn crook left exposed wires out. The Pastorelli came in, flipped the switch, and then zap! Yeah, maybe them aliens is hot for colored glass after all. Anytime, Steve.
temptations of worldliness say, c'est la vie. Pastorelli's own incompetence caused his unfortunate accident. What does it matter that you left live electrical wires hanging in the water on the floor? If he hadn't cross-wired the alarm system to the sprinklers, he'd be alive today. Of course, you only wanted the bowl, but that hardly matters now. Your final assignment is to set a fire in DNA's diner and let the French fry where they may. Yes, I suggest you succeed. Beyond that, you must find your own answers. Members of the Order must be resourceful and cunning. So must you be to become one with them. Tonight, the bake sale commences. Soon, the annual harvest blood drive will be at hand. When sacrifice will be the order of the day, your time in harvest grows short.
Did you say hello to your father for me? It's very important. Tell him. Tell him that I hope he gets better soon, and don't forget to remind him about his promise regarding the meat. You know, with a slaughterhouse full of meat in town, what kind of nutcase would steal a barber's pole? Oh well, Pastorelli won't need it where he is. God rest his soul.
You might want to be extra nice to Mr. Potsdam today, Steve. He was turned down by the lodge again. Guess we're having the wedding at Mr. Moynihan's after all. The bake sale is tonight, 7 o'clock at the school. Lots of cookies and yards of flock. Hope to see you there. Give my regards to your parents.
I'm glad to see you. I feel so alone, cooped up in here. I understand that bake sale is today.
Yeah, you'd think it was the second coming the way everyone is acting around here.
It's insane. The maniacal attention paid to this bake sale. Like all the women in Harvest came from the same cookie cutter. It's unnatural. Unhealthy. Almost a parody of how things should be. And through my window at night, I see my mother throwing out whole batches of cookies, like an automaton getting rid of its surplus product.
My so-called mother has been baking cookies all week, and then throwing them out. Better that than getting rid of us.
Wait around long enough. I have a feeling they'll get to it. I don't know if you heard or not, but Mr. Pastorelli, the barber, he's dead. Looks like somebody stole a barber's pole from him then left the exposed electrical wires and some water on the floor. Pastorelli walked in, flipped on the lights, and... Know anything about that? Oh my God! Steve, that was no little prank! A man died!
It was an accident. Forgot about the live wires in the water.
That doesn't change the fact that you killed him. This initiation killed him.
It was just an accident.
An accident which wouldn't have happened if not for the lodge. Don't you see? I'm beginning to think that the lodge poisons everything it touches. Harvest, even you.
I didn't create this situation.
Are you sure?
No. But however it started, I'm gonna see it through to the end.
Vandalism, theft, manslaughter. What's next, Steve? Murder? Look, I know in the beginning I suggested you might check out the lodge. I was more worried about getting out of here than anything else. But now that I know you, I'm worried about you too.
I'm fine.
A man is dead because of you. How can you be fine? You've got to stop this. Tell me, is anything positive going to come out of this lodge initiation crap?
Yeah, or escape, hopefully.
It just seems to me that this order of yours is getting you in deeper and deeper trouble.
They can't make me do anything I don't want to do.
No, but maybe when it's all said and done, you'll want to do anything.
You've got to trust me.
Come back and visit me soon, okay? I'm glad to see you. Come back and visit me.
Young man, we really have nothing to say to each other. I have the feeling your innards shall soon adorn my slab, and I'd rather not know the face of the meat I'm slicing. It seems that, like some elephant's graveyard, people of low station come to harvest to die. They simply drop dead, penniless, and they all need burials. Like that corpse in the chapel, all dressed up and nowhere to go. No mourners, no point. But I still must provide them with prompt burials by town charter, and absorb the losses myself. God knows, by putting these people up at the Wayward Hotel, I do more than my fair share. So why must I pay for the coffins and burial materials as well? My losses to the dead are substantial. Hopefully the bake sale will offset some of them. I do hope you'll attend the bake sale and spend heavily. It's for the needy, you know.
Sure. And all they have to do to benefit is die.
A ditch makes a poor resting place. You'll need to learn that, if you ever want to leave Harvest.
You make it sound like I have a choice.
A choice that is rapidly vanishing. Join the lodge, Stephen, while you may. The corpse reclining in the chapel right now is a prime example of the difficulties I face. For unfathomable reasons, this bum decided to wander into Harvest and summarily drop dead.
Just like that.
Indeed. He died of purely natural causes. Of that I have no doubt.
But why come to Harvest to die? You say this happens often. Isn't that a little too much of a coincidence?
I've often puzzled over the situation myself. Though I can assure you, young man, that nothing untoward is happening in Harvest. On the contrary, it's an indication of our compassion that I put up hobos in the Wayward Hotel, and the Order of the Harvest Moon mandates their prompt burial, even when they are without family or means, and when it entails losses on my part. I'd say it's been a pleasure, but I find the company of the living so wearisome. You can't have that, Stephen. I need it for my work. And may I say you're a rude young man for attempting to steal it.
I was only going to borrow it.
Indeed. And have you anything I could hold as security?
How about the fact that you lied to me about that corpse in the other room? John Doe?
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
If he just dropped dead, where did all those slashes come from?
I don't know what slashes you're referring to.
They were there.
Do you have any proof of these wild claims? Any tangible evidence? If not, I suggest you leave me to my work. I'd say it's been a pleasure. Ah, you've taken up photography, I see. Now why on earth would you choose such a grotesque subject?
That John Doe you've got boxed up in the chapel? He didn't just drop dead. Someone helped him take the plunge.
You may be right. I'm a mortician, not a medical examiner.
You don't have to be to know that being ripped to shreds can be detrimental to your health.
This is not something you want to be looking into, young man. That's what we all want.
What game are you people playing?
A game we win or lose together.
Look, are you going to tell me what I want to know, or do I go to the sheriff with these pictures?
That would be a grave mistake, I assure you. I've told you all I can. My losses have been substantial of late, so I can't offer you money. The only thing I can give you in exchange for the photographs is my tube of astro glue. I do suggest you take it, for it's all you'll get from me. A wise decision. When a wasp's nest is stirred up, it is seldom the wasps who grieve later.
What a good boy you are. Have a cookie. Mercy, what a terrible thing to say. Isn't it, ladies?
Yes, terrible.
What a good boy you are. Derelicts and bums who wander into town who don't have enough money for a decent burial.
They deserve to be buried. It's the Christian thing to do.
That's awful nice of you. But why do so many derelicts and bums die in Harvest?
Don't be such a wise apple, Steve.
Hello, Steve. Why, I never! Isn't that right, ladies?
Yes, never.
Ladies, someone has just burned down the TV station. On the night of our bake sale?
to our order of the day.
The hand that grips the life that step.
Steve, you've been doing a swell job putting the paper out in the morning. You just keep doing that and we won't have any problems. That's not much to ask, is it?
Say, can you spare a dime for a buckaroo who's down on his luck? The whole shebang just went up in flames, and I'm looking to mosey on to greener pastures, where the sunset's always golden, and there's always another savage to kill.
I've tried so hard to find an excuse to keep on fighting, but Karen and I can't go out alone any longer. This diner he left us was all we had. It was always a struggle to keep it running in such a small town. And now we've lost it. I know that I can't afford to support us now. There's only one way out. I'm sure you won't be able to understand the depth of despair that would enable a mother to put a rope around her baby's neck and push her into the air and jump after her. I wonder if I'll hear her next now. If she kicks around and takes a long time to strangle, I'll scream, but I won't cut her down. I've got to be stronger than I ever was before. But I hope she doesn't get it. God help us and forgive us, Edna Fitzpatrick.
I'm glad to see you. I feel so alone, cooped up in here. I saw the TV station go up from my window. It lighted up the whole town. It looked like hell. I wished it would consume the whole damn place. And me with it.
Don't talk like that.
I'm sorry. I just can't stand it anymore.
I wish there was something I could do.
There he is. Make love to me.
Do it to me. Now. I'm glad to see you. I heard that DNA's diner burned down.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Did you torch it, Steve? This had the stamp of another large initiation stunt.
Maybe so, but I had nothing to do with it.
Thank God for that. She hung herself, you know. And Karen. Can you imagine? Killing your own daughter? The despair she must have been feeling to do something like that? She must have felt there was no way to carry on after the fire.
Accidents happen.
It was no accident. The sheriff supposedly found evidence that the fire was set. Are you sure you didn't...
Would I lie to you?
No. I'm sure you wouldn't. Come back and visit me soon.
Hello, dear. How are you today? The nerve of some people burning down the TV station to detract from our bake sale.
I doubt the perpetrator did it just to annoy the Harvest PTA.
Coincidence? I don't think so. Just 6 months ago, the newspaper building went up in smoke. Obviously, there's a firebug on the loose. Either that or a communist. Steve, I'm so scared. Just ask Colonel Monroe at the missile base. He'll tell you. Now that the bake sale's over, I just don't know how I'll fill my time. Oh, I feel so useless. My goodness. What's wrong with her? My goodness. God. Oh, it's not as bad as it looks. You just pop them back in. See? As good as new. That tarantula she ate must have had wasp eggs in it.
Don't you think we should get her to a doctor?
What for? She's got her mother. How silly I was, feeling useless just because there are no more cookies to bake. I can still rear my brood. This is a sign, Steve. I have a purpose again.
Glad to see you're feeling better.
Mind, that fire still burns my britches. First the newspaper building, then DNA's diner, then WHAR. I sense a pattern. And any pattern I can't make a dress out of is no darn good. I suppose you heard about DNA's diner burning down. Sheriff Dwayne thinks it was a grease fire. We took a black eye on the bake sale, but I'm sure the Harvest PTA annual blood drive will be more successful. Overall, we made about $200, hardly enough to bury a dead horse, and definitely not enough to cover the annual blood drive.
Annual blood drive, huh?
If you knew how much blood we get, you'd be more impressed. Donations are mandatory, Steve. If you're still here come Sunday, you'll be expected to give.
Until it hurts, I suppose.
Until it hurts. Even Hank will have to donate. Of course, lodge members are exempt. Remember that.
Hey, either way, no one's sticking me with a needle.
We don't use needles.
Hank, that kid over by the television?
Your little brother is homesick from school.
Is he real?
Look at this.
I don't know.
Honestly, skipping out of a
I don't know, damn it, that's what I'm
Don't you dare! Don't forget to put the papers. Hello, dear. Don't forget to...
What is it now?
Hank?
What?
Why are you sitting in front of that blank TV?
Someone burnt down the TV channel. There's nothing on. Nothing on.
Honestly, Hank, you're acting like an alcoholic. I told you all that TV would hurt you.
Watching TV don't hurt me, Mom. But not watching TV hurts bad. If I find out who burnt down the TV station, I'll make him wish he was one of those damn Indians. Good. Finally.
Did you say? Thank God. Harvest will never be the same without DNA's diner. Or without DNA, for that matter.
Establishment. A true entrepreneur and a credit to our nation. Come now. Anyone who spoke with her for 5 minutes would have known what a tragedy the destruction of her diner would be. Still, you sought to torch her diner, and torched it is. You have proven yourself a worthy expecting. Your initiation into the mysteries of the harvest will soon begin. In the meantime, be patient. Protocols must be observed before initiation may commence.
How I recognize the sign?
You will know. When you receive the invitation, bring it here, and your initiation shall begin.
Hello, dear. Oh, dear, I just heard what happened to Stephanie.
What do you mean? What happened to her?
You haven't heard? Well, young man, you march right over there this instant. She's your fiancée, after all.
Guess I can forget about the meat, huh?
What do you mean?
Your dad must have pulled some strings. Be sure and check Stephanie's pillow, you lucky bum.
What the hell are you talking about?
You'll see once the sheriff gets here. Stephanie. Things will never be the same now. Guess I'll be watching TV nights.
Okay, you can come in now, son.
My God. Is that what I think it is?
Yep, it's a spinal cord.
Is it Stephanie?
I can see a resemblance, but I can't be sure.
More pie, Sheriff?
Pie? Don't you realize what's happened?
Oh, indeed I do. I can just hear the tongues wagging at the PTA. Was it suicide?
Never heard of anyone pulling their own spinal cord out before. Off the record, I'd have to say no. No, all in all, I'd say this was death by natural causes.
Natural causes?
You can't live without a spinal cord, son. Nothing unnatural about that. Think I will have some more pie.
Right away.
I can't believe this. This is horrible.
Believe me, you get to the point to where this is routine. Now the only clue we got is that card on our pillow. Take a look at it.
This is practically a confession.
Confession to what, son?
Murder. Isn't that what you're here to investigate?
Son, you don't investigate natural deaths. No point.
Then I'll get to the bottom of this myself.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
More pie, Sheriff?
Don't mind if I do. Can't allow you to take her remains, boy.
I'm so hungry, Steve. So hungry. If I'd been an astronaut, I could afford all the meat I want. The red kind. And the young, pink kind, too.
Received the invitation, but you have not brought it.
I don't understand.
The invitation was not the card, but the spinal cord. It must be presented to me ere I allow you to enter. Expect nothing. What must unfold will. You were provided an invitation. Bring me the skull and spinal cord if you would pass to the world beyond.
It's not often that I get